is pure devotees. It really brings out the best in the thing, especially the association with devotees is from the most important thing because we don't get that pleasure of discussing Krishna Katha in its purest form with anyone else. Wherever else you may go, there might be some contamination of some sort in. But when devotees get together, there is no mutual like you do this, I do this for you, like mutual benefit thing. Kind of it is more to do with glorifying Krishna, no personal in nothing for one's own personal sake. So very nice, really. Let's discuss this verse 1:5:15, which we were reading the verse and the translation last. We will read it once again, and then we will also go along with the most important this purpose. In the entire this two chapters, fifth and sixth chapter, this verse is the most strongest verse. And this verse spoken by Narada Muni is the most strong. 15, not 16. Let's discuss. Somebody would like to recite this verse?
I will do, Prabhu. Is it okay?
Please go ahead, Prabhu. Most welcome.
जुगुप्सितं धर्मकृते अनुशासताः स्वभावरक्तस्य महान् व्यतिक्रमः यद्वाक्यतो धर्म इति तरसितो न मन्यते तस्य निवारं जनः.
Thank you, Prabhu. जुगुप्सितं धर्मकृते अनुशासतः स्वभावरक्तस्य महान् व्यतिक्रमः यद्वाक्यतो धर्म इति तरस्थितो न मन्यते तस्य निवारणं जनः न मन्यते. Can we read the translation, Prabhu? Suresh Prabhu?
Yes. The people in general are naturally inclined to enjoy, and you have encouraged them in that way, in the name of religion. This is verily condemned and is quite unreasonable, because they are guided under your instructions. They will accept such activities in the name of religion and will hardly care for prohibitions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. So there is danger of misguiding the general mass. Actually, it is very interesting. Narad Muni is very strongly condemning this Vyasadev's writing so many other scriptures where he emphasizes on dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Then what are the other three things that which we talked about, which we discussed earlier from the Vedas, the three sections: karma kanda, jnana kanda, and upasana kanda. While this is correct only, but then that linking part was missing. Ultimately where it is going, the connecting part, that is Krishna is the linking, is the linking part in the whole thing, right? So that was the missing part. And without that, when he had written this Swabhava Raktasya is a very beautiful word to meditate upon. Because here Narad Muni is telling that Swabhava, here the word Swabhava is actually the natural inclination in under the control of the modes. He is not talking about the natural inclination of the Atma. He is talking about the natural inclination of the divinity in its subtle body and gross body. So naturally, we tend to degrade down to the lower modes. Wherever, in a very simple terms, if you have to see, even if we are in devotional service, we do it maybe when devotees are around, when some friends are there and some group is there, fine. But when we are alone, the mind naturally degrades into, say, here some clippings, here that video, this, that, etc., etc. So it naturally wants the sense enjoyment. And what Narada is telling is that they are already naturally inclined to this, their own enjoyment only, so sense enjoyment only. And you have given them the direction that dharma, artha, kama, moksha, in which this artha and kama are considered the most important thing for them. Earn money and enjoy, spend for your own sense enjoyment, that's all. And you have encouraged them in that way. That is the biggest challenge one faces. When we are and when he is encouraging them means they will take advantage of Vyasadev's writings and say that, see, in Mahabharata he says like this, I'm just following. How does it matter? When Mahabharata, Duryodhan disrobed his own sister-in-law. What is the problem with me? I can do that. So one can, while at the same time, Vyasadeva had written clearly that Duryodhan, the end was destroyed, and Yudhishthira Maharaj, even though he had to struggle, but finally he attained the kingdom, etc., etc. But they will not care for it. They will say, "Na manyate tasya nivaranam jana." They will not care for the prohibitions. You have given the prohibitions, but because these are not ultimately in line with or under the roof of devotional service, under the roof of pleasing Krishna and doing everything as an offering to Krishna, people will not take these things seriously. Now, isn't it true? Now people are questioning. Suppose you say in the temple that people should come with in a more sattvic dress code. People immediately challenge, isn't it? They challenge, who are you to tell me? I can come in pants, shirt, shorts, whatever I can. I can even come without anything. If it's your eyes that needs to be, you should control your eyes. They say like that, isn't it? Whereas you say the same thing, you have to follow certain dress code when you go to the pub or when you go to the office or when you go to some picnic, etc. They simply follow without any question. So that rebellious nature is there. That has been in fact, it was not part of the Vedic culture, but because of so many invasions and anti-Vedic preaching and etc. was all happening, people start questioning and also the equal contribution is from those who did not follow the Vedic culture properly. When those who are supposed to set the standard or give the guidance to the general mass, when they don't keep up the standard, then people start questioning them, isn't it? Like 100 years ago, this was not the case. Because suppose there is a Brahmana, he will follow things to the core. He will be very honest in his dealings. He will not be greedy for money. He will not cheat somebody just for some wealth or name, fame, or whatever. He will do the service in the simplest, with a simple heart. So people respected and believed in the words of the Brahmanas and the sadhus. But as Kali Yuga is progressing more and more, degrading more and more, everybody is taking advantage of this thing. So there is a question every time it comes. These kind of questions that come, that how can you name something as what is that? They say, what is the word they use for this? Communal. Huh? They say if you are naming some place with Krishna's name or Krishna's devotee's names, then that is questioned. They say, why do you name like this? Why can't you name that way? There is a foolishness around the whole thing, real one is rascaldom, another is foolishness. They are not simply fools, they are rascal fools actually. They don't understand what they are picking. Someone is asking, then they immediately go with the same thing. So this is where Narad Muni is foreseeing what will happen in the future. with these texts like where he has Vyasadeva had written all these things like Mahabharata, etc., and people will not care for prohibitions. You have really misguided them in that way. So this is a very important lesson for us, the last verse and this verse. For us, we have to go without any deviation. Like last verse, you were saying, no, even a slight deviation can create such a havoc, right? 50 years ago, only the deviation started, or maybe 70 years, 60 years ago, the deviation started. Even when the British control was there, people were still following to whatever extent. Of course, they were slowly they were they were injecting with this poison that questioning your own culture and questioning your own thing. Not in a Atatho Brahma Jignasa. That is the basic thing that is there in our Vedic culture, right? Everything we have to what is that? Pariprashnena sevaya. We have to ask questions. That is there recommended in our shastras, but not in a challenging way. But with an eagerness to understand, eagerness to with a respectful attitude, not in a challenging way and in a demeaning way. You see, that is where we have to be very careful in the question. It's not blind faith. Prabhupada never entertained blind faith. Shiva Prabhu, yes, Prabhu, please have raised your question hand.
We have told many points.
Your
We
voice
are
is breaking, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Krishna Prabhuji here.
Little bit it was breaking. Now better, I think. You can go ahead.
So you mentioned started to question our
Again breaking,
but
Prabhu.
why if see religion, I
Again breaking, Prabhu. I don't know if I am the
put
only
into the
one
chat.
facing this.
Yes, Prabhu, it's breaking.
Prabhuji, are you able to hear me better?
Now better, Prabhu.
Okay. So put one point, we have started to poison our own this devotional culture. But if you see other religions, they are very we have started to degrade, Prabhuji. What could be the reason?
No, you were just we have started to degrade. Before that, what did you say? Again, it was breaking.
Other religions, they very
Breaking.
Breaking again, Prabhu.
We will take after some time.
Yeah, maybe what we can do, Prabhu, you can either type your question or you can disconnect and connect again. Maybe it will work better. Let's see, Prabhu. And I just saw Suresh Prabhu's message also that it is a tapasya, And not only tapasya, it is very convenient. My Guru Maharaj used to say that something about the, dhoti means you can just you can just wear it, and you can. It's whichever way you want to think. It will not. Even if it is little bit shrinking or anything, it doesn't really matter much. But this office clothes and all, we have to iron it and keep it so clean and pressed and clean, neat and everything. And we go wear the coat and go in the hot summer. It's British thing was different. Western thing was different because they usually their countries are mostly cold. In the name of following that, we are really creating a mockery. So people they think that only if you wear a coat and go, that is slowly that was established in a systematic way. This whole misunderstanding of this foolishness was established. Earlier, everybody used to have shika. Now, if you have shika, it is considered as a primitive uh, thing. So like that, slowly these slow things can create such a havoc. Like 60, 70 years ago also it was much better. But now, if you see, everything will be questioned. Whatever you do, it will be questioned. Living together. Somebody from our thing, they are questioning this thing, then they will be challenged. You are against this. And then people have same-sex marriage and this and that, which is totally nonsensical and against this thing. And then some will come and say, no, you people are too narrow-minded, you don't know this, that, etc. And then eating meat, that's another, it's a big problem. And then what is that? Infidelity. They mean people going different marriages with outside marriages, they want to have relations and etc. All these things are becoming a norm now, and so much money they are spending. This industry is, they are running mainly to extract them from us. All our money they want to squeeze. This makeup industry, pedicure, manicure, whatever, and then pets thing. There's huge shops will be there in US. Pets R Us, Toys R Us, and all those things, and they have companies for which our people here will be working in the IT division or whatever. It was such a painful thing to see. Anyway, so Narad Muni is foreseeing all these things that are coming in the future, and he is advising Vyasadeva that you please, what you have done is verily condemned. Condemn means condemning is like, for such a great personality, it is a very, very serious thing actually. Okay, Shiva Prabhu, are you able to hear me now, or you can speak now? Krishna? Looks like this.
So, if actually, maybe you're not.
Again, breaking only. Again, voice is breaking, Prabhu. I think I can type, Prabhu, just to make it easy. For whatever reason, I don't know even if you are at home or somewhere else. Looks like the voice is not very clear. Not feeling. I don't know if anyone else is speaking. Okay, let's continue before that. So, okay, so this purport has to be read. So, who would like to start with the purport?
Prabhuji, I can start.
Please, Prabhu.
Purport by Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Vyasadeva's compilation of different Vedic literatures on the basis of regulated performance of fruitive activities as depicted in the Mahabharata and other literature is condemned herewith by Srila Narada. The human being, by long material association, life after life, have a natural inclination by practice to endeavor to load it over material energy.
Two things here, Prabhu. One is by the long material association, another is by practice.
Yes.
See, these two things are Prabhupada is highlighting these two things as the cause of our degradation. That natural inclination to go towards the material enjoyment is because of the long material association.
True.
For even a tiny thing will take us towards that, but like time after time, like say for example, if you have a mobile phone, before the mobile phone was there, we didn't have so much attachment to whatever is coming in that. But once you start using it, slowly, we start getting association of the material of the mobile phone. And then this app is there, that app is there, one version is there, new version is there. Forget about the anxiety it creates with the newer and newer versions of the mobile and the software coming. The impact it has on us is like anytime you have a few minutes free, hand and mind naturally goes to that, isn't it? And then it starts looking into what is the latest news, who has posted what, did my friend post something here or there. That is material association. And then by practice, again, practice means we are trained in it. Practice means physically engaging in it. First is mental. The next thing that happens is my hands and other senses work in coordination with the mind. Right? My eyes want to see something, my hand wants to see check this thing, and then it keeps going back and forth on this, and then these two things, my long material association includes our mind constantly meditating on it. Second thing is practice. Mind is forcing us to keep engaging with it and do something or here and there. So it becomes a practice. Like 10 days, 15 days, you keep doing it becomes your habit, and that is how we endeavor to lord it over the material energy. Means we want to exploit it, and for our own enjoyment, we want to use all these things. So that's the two important points we should note here. Why the natural inclination to lord it over, how the natural inclination to lord it over the material energy has come in us. It is actually anti-natural. Soul is not accustomed to this, right? But how this becomes a natural thing, this becomes a natural inclination. We are naturally inclined to go that way. The moment you are, like say, natural inclination means, suppose I am left to stand like this. If I don't have a support, then naturally I will be like swaying to the one side, isn't it? Like breeze. If the boat is like this, no anchor is there, then naturally the breeze will blow like this, it will go this way. If it blows like this, it will go this way. So that is how it keeps going. And that happens as a result of our long material association and continuously practicing whatever the mind is telling the senses are doing. And then every single thing that we are doing is only to exploit and lord it over the material energy. We don't understand that material energy is actually Krishna's energy. We think that material energy can be exploited. Very simple thing. If I go to the like hand wash or something, they will have some tissue papers, to wiping papers. It's actually not needed. As it is, water dries off. But they invented something called tissue paper. Now, people don't just take one paper and just wipe it and throw it. They have to take a bunch. Why? Because I don't care for material energy. Or I keep drinking something or whatever, I don't crush and throw it, but I use this disposable thing for that matter, and it becomes a big problem for garbage, right? In the early days, there was no disposable, it was all reusable. It was all that which can be decomposed, isn't it? And for example, in GEB, every those forms, we see those, everything is recycling, isn't it? I remember many years ago when I went there, one of the devotees there showed me how the cow's dung and everything is being used. And even the drainage and things also pure, the water is purified, and then it is what do you call, it is recycled into the flower garden that is there, and then the flowers are grown with that same thing. And this is actually recently, but just 2 days ago, one of the devotees from Bhubaneswar had come. Naturally Bhubaneswar means Jagannath devotees. So he's my long time friend. So I was just talking with him about how Puri is such an amazing place right from many, many centuries ago. Not a single thing there is wasted. Everything is recycled. Especially if you go into the kitchen, it is Asia's largest kitchen, whatever, world's largest kitchen or whatever. But apart from that, there is no machines being used. So there is no need for electricity. The mixture, grinder, everything is actually handmade. And on top of that, every single thing that is extra, like for example, the coconuts, the shell, that is used as a fuel. There is no gas cylinder, nothing. Everything is natural chula, the natural fuel thing, the log of wood. And I was asking him, like every year they are making fresh rath. So what will they do after the rath is over? He said those rath woods are cut and then they are used as logs of wood in the kitchen throughout the year. How they have thought over it? The simple heart is enough. You don't have to be like too much engineering, complication and all that. How the Vedic culture is all about recycling. So when you recycle, there's nothing that is wasted. They use banana leaf, they use banana, the skin, and everything is that way. So that is where we should have a, there is no lording it over material energy. I'm just using it and throwing it. Doesn't matter for once I use, everything is meant for my use. And after I use, I don't care whether it is whatever it is doing to the rest of the world. Plastic, so much plastic we were consuming, and we were just throwing left, right, and center. Now you see how much harm it is creating to the whole world, with the entire world's environment. So this is where, all these are small things, but our Vedic culture, it naturally removes these things from our lifestyle. Whereas the modern culture, it brings all these anti-Vedic, simplistic lifestyle. So this is where our Bhagavatam message is not only for like, I have to worship Krishna, I have to do this, I have to do that, I don't care for this. That is also not a mature way of doing things. Everything surrounding me should be treated in such a way. Like my Guru Maharaj used to say that right from his childhood, he would even treat the water flow in its natural flow. He will not wash clothes against the flow of the water. Like he will not like do while washing the clothes in the river, he will not do against suppose the river is flowing like this, he will not do like this. He will do it like this so that the natural flow of the water should not be disturbed. And naturally, when the air is blowing, you just sit with it, and you just don't exploit the nature. We are now polluting with all different kinds of fuels and this and that. No, that is creating pollution more and more, and that destroys. So there, all I want is very simple. I want to go fast. I don't care what happens to this atmosphere. I don't care what happens to this air. If others die because of the pollution, it doesn't matter to me. And then there is a whole media thing is connected with the anti-religious sentiments. They will not say anything when these goats are cut. Lakhs and lakhs of goats are cut. But they will say when Diwali is there, they will say, oh, it is polluting. So everywhere there is a way to destroy our culture and make people more and more godless. Because they're worried that if people become godly, they become simple, and those industries will run into loss. You see, the more people complicate their life, the more it is beneficial for those whatever modern inventions and industries that people come up with. Okay, so I see a couple of hands raised, and I also see some messages that has come. Shiva Prabhu asking what is. Suresh Prabhu is first asking about us. We have started declared, but other religions are proud of the religion, but we are not proud of our Shastras. What is the reason? Actually, this pride can be taken in two different ways, Prabhu. One in a negative way, another is like in a positive way. Like it is my culture. Like we have to be more like confident about this thing. So this confidence was gradually, bit by bit, destroyed by the so many years of what do you call this ruling, British rule and other things, Prabhu. So as a result, what is happening? And second thing is, ours is the richest Shastra, scripture of all, But unfortunately, those who are supposed to teach us in the right way, they were misled with the British invasion and the Muslim invasion, whatever that happened for many centuries. So they were, first of all, that's where like this Max Muller or Macaulay, somebody said that, no, if you have to make Indians into beggars. I did not find a single beggar in the street, he said, no. And then he said, if we have to make them depend on us, we have to destroy their culture first. If we destroy their culture, or their faith in their culture, and faith in their scriptures, this is something where he really followed that logic, and he succeeded to a large extent. So what did he do? He first used this word because he learned Sanskrit people started thinking, hey, Englishman is learning Sanskrit, that's really great. Then he started understand this word mithya means false. Yes. What is that? Brahman Satyam Jagat Mithya, that is Shankaracharya's statement now. So he learned that. And so he used this word mithya into mythology. He used the word mythology. He was the one who introduced this word. And once he introduced this word, everybody started questioning. Yes, yes, correct. Here it is saying like this, here it is saying like that. So those who are teaching also were losing their capability. Those who are supposed to learn also were losing their faith. And as a result, and it's not like just one small scripture. We have so deep a scripture. Even Bhagavatam, if you have to study, we have to spend many lifetimes to even understand its thing. What to speak of so many other scriptures and everything. So this, both sides there were mistakes. One side is the teaching people are supposed to be more and more compassionate, and those who are supposed to learn also supposed to be more and more surrendered and faithful. So this is where that combination led to people losing faith. First of all, to be proud, proud of your own culture, you should have faith in it. No, when you have faith in it, you will follow it. When you follow it, that is when you will be proud of your culture. You will wear a dress, dhoti and kurta, only if you have a faith in it, right? This is faith means this is something that will please my Lord. So that faith was destroyed gradually, bit by bit, Prabhu. And then the capability of the Brahmanas were also destroyed because they were allured into. As it is Kali, the whole thing started with that Brahmana boy, where Kali entered into him, right? That is where that pride of that Brahmana should never have pride at all in whatever capabilities they have. And that small, and those days, actually Brahmanas didn't have any. So this Kali had to enter through that Brahmanas, that Shringi Brahmana boys' pride only. Bhagavatam says that perfectly. So this is one of the reasons, Prabhu, one of the main reasons that I can see. And naturally, everything started flowing in that direction. Like once you start that cycle, no, Prabhu, like how the that vehicle goes, like that goes into a chakra. One became degraded, faith lost from the recipient. Then it further it started questioning, and then like that it just went on. So this question, was it from Shiva Prabhu? Or is it the next one?
I just forwarded it from WhatsApp to this chat.
Oh, he sent it in WhatsApp, huh?
Yeah, yes.
I thought you asked this question.
No.
Okay. So I see some hands raised also, please. Rajesh Prabhu?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu, can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu, I can.
Prabhu, yes, regarding this point that you're talking, the long material association. I have a question, but it may be more my misunderstanding. So I wanted to put it out there.
Please.
When it is said the human beings by long material association. So, but when compared to the Paramatma, which is Anantam, the Jivatma's life is so minuscule in that sequence of time, right? So in such a small span of life, why does it say a long material association, and why do we have natural inclination?
No, it is life after life, Prabhu. Long material association means anarpita charinchirat, like, as I say, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva. We have not only in this body, we have associated materially. Before this, we had some other body in this material world only. There also we were associating materially. Materially means we are associating with the three modes. We are associating with all the objects of sense gratification. Like suppose in the previous life, I was a elephant, say. I would have been associated with the material objects that were for an elephant body that was giving me enjoyment. You understand? Then I would have got a suppose a deer body. So in the deer body, whatever was attractive to me in that body, I was attached with it. So my aim was always to fulfill those desires which will be my material enjoyment. You got the point? So many lifetimes. Many lifetimes we have been traveling, but Paramatma is the same. He is traveling with us, but he is only observing. Only when we turn to him, he will give us a direction. We have not been turning to him at all. So one body, next body, next body, next body, like that I keep on accruing more and more what do you call the material enjoyment. So what happens as a result? The subtle body, that is the mind, it carries all these impressions. That is why in every single body, I am turned away from Krishna, from Paramatma, and I want to keep enjoying. Right? So the propensity to enjoy independent of God is there always in all the bodies. And finally, when we come to this body, again, we are doing the same thing because we don't understand that once we degrade from the human body to the other bodies, it's very difficult to come back again. So it will take a long time again. So that is why labdva sudurlabam midam bahu sambhavante manushya marthadam anityam apiha dhiraha turnam yateta napatet anuvrityu yavan nishreyasaya vishayaha kalu sarvatarasya. This shloka is beautifully spoken by Krishna to Uddhava, the 11th canto. Labdva, you have attained this human form. Sudurlabam, very difficult to obtain, but you have got it. Idam, this body, bahu sambhavante. After many lifetimes, you have got this. Okay. What is the body you got? Manushyam. This Manushya form you have got. And what is the quality of this Manushya form? Manushya forms is Manushyam Anityam. Manushyam Artadam Anityam Apiha Dhiraha. We can't be proud that I have got a human body, but the thing is, it is Anityam, but it is Artadam. Artadam means very meaningful, very valuable. With this, we can go back to God directly. Right? In God, in a dog's body, cat's body, and you cannot go directly. But from human form, you can directly go back to Krishna. Come back to God. So, the Artadam, but Anityam, very temporary. Anytime it can go away. So a Dhira person will understand these two qualities of this life of or form of a man. And then what is Turnam Yateta? They see that this is Anityam. They will immediately Turnam Yateta. And immediately you take. Very quickly you should take. Don't waste too much time. Turnam Yateta. How Turnam you should take? Na Patet Anumrityu Yavat. Before your body lies down dead. The death is coming, right? It is approaching all of us, or we are going there, whichever way it is. But we have to take to this thing seriously. Turnam yateta na patet anumrityu yavat. Before your body lies down dead. So how can we say before it lies down dead? I cannot say 60, 70 years later I will die. I can die this moment. So there is no, because we don't have any guarantee for this body. So that's why you take every moment as the last moment, and we are doing. What are you supposed to do? Nishreyasaya. Nishreyasaya means that which is giving you ultimate benefit in this body. That is attaining the spiritual form or a spiritual body, right? Nishreyasaya kalu sarvatahasya. Vishayaha kalu sarvatahasya. Last line, he says a beautiful thing. These four things: eating, mating, sleeping, and defending. What they call that as eating, mating, sleeping, defending. Paya, mrityu, What is that?
Ahara Nidra.
Ahara Nidra Bhayamothinam Cha Samanya Pashubir Narana. These four things are common for both human and animal. Ahara, eating, Nidra, sleeping, Bhaya is defending, Maithunam is mating. These four things are common for both. Which verse, Prabhu? Suresh Prabhu, which one you are talking about? That this one, Labdva Sudurlabham?
Yeah.
That Labdva Sudurlabham?
Yes.
That is 11:9:29, Prabhu.
11:9:29. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay. So these four things are common for animals and human. Why are you doing the same thing again? Vishayaha. Khalu sarvatahasya. Sarvatah means in all bodies you have enjoyed these four things. And the same thing you want to do here also. Whether you are lying down in a 5-star hotel in an AC room or lying down on the platform, you have to sleep. The sleep will come with them. So you are spending so much time and energy in all these things, but you don't understand that there is something special that you can do in this life which you are not utilizing it for. So Rajesh Prabhu, that is helpful for you?
So thank you very much, Prabhu.
This is what he is trying to tell, Narada Muni is trying to tell here, that people are inclined to do that same thing, eating, mating, sleeping, defending, for their kama and artha thought. You are engaging them in the same way. So that is where it's very important to understand the intensity with which Narada Muni is speaking this shloka. There is one thing is the meaning. The other is the intensity of this verse, or the motive with which he is speaking this verse. He's so compassionate. Narada Muni is so much pained to see living entities left, right, and center, wasting their time and body. This varam, that benediction that we have got. Okay, so let's go further. Only 4 lines we read till now.
Okay, Prabhuji, I'll read that again because it's very important. The human being by long material association, life after life have a natural inclination by practice to endeavor to lord it over material energy. They have no sense of the responsibility of human life. This human form of life is a chance to get out of the clutches of illusory matter. The Vedas are meant for going back to Godhead, going back home. To resolve the cycle of transmigration is in a series of lives numbering 8,400,000 is an imprisoned life for the condemned conditioned souls. The human form of life is a chance to get out of this imprisoned life, and as such, the only occupation of human life or human being is to re-establish his lost relationship with God. Under the circumstances, one should never be encouraged in making a plan for sense enjoyment in the name of religious functions. Such diversion of human energy results in a misguided civilization. The Srila Vyasadeva is the authority in Vedic explanations in the Mahabharata, etc., and his encouragement in sense enjoyment in some form or other is a great barrier for spiritual advancement because the people in general will not agree to renounce material activities which hold them in material bondage.
It's a beautiful statement, no? It's a very beautiful statement. Let's try to hear this a little bit more. Such diversion of the human energy results in a misguided civilization. This is a very important line because you see, normally, Prabhu's Mataji's, we could have understood this thing. Say now you go to Vrindavan, for example, and you go to the Radha Damodar temple, for example. Wherever you go, it's all completely changed. But if you go to Radha Damodar temple, you will see so many things like like it is all covered cement and everything. It's concrete open. It's all covered at the top. Then the parikrama mark is fully laid, this thing and all that. But just 20 years ago, I know just next to the Rupa Goswami's Samadhi and that Bhajan Kutir, beautiful one tree was there. And you can sit under the tree and you can chant. Now there is no more tree. It's all open. It used to be open. Even if you see some pictures that were taken in the 1970s, where Prabhupada and they go on parikrama and all, it's so different. I can only hear how it was that time, right? Fortunately, there are some picture or video that was taken that maybe I will be able to imagine a bit how in 1970s and all when Prabhupada is going on parikrama along with the devotees or other devotees also going there. The only thing they will hear is the bell that is tied to the neck of the cows and the calves. That is all the bells ringing. No, that's what they're walking, and that's the bell. That is the only thing that they will hear. Now you go to Vrindavan, that same parikrama mark. I'm not telling the purity of the Vrindavan stays the same. There is nothing I mean, there is no doubt about it. I'm only talking about the experience that you are getting now. Like you will see all kinds of honks and this and that. Cars are going inside the Loi Bazaar. Vasudev Prabhu is here. He knows. He stays in Vrindavan, so he knows quite well what I'm talking about, and others also who have been there for some time now. So it's now my point is this: if you tell this person who is now born there or just visiting for the first time Vrindavan, you tell him that 40 years ago it was like this, he will not believe it. Because what you see, that is what you will believe, isn't it? Normally. Right? 50 years ago, 70 years ago, 100 years ago, it was like this. If I say, I will just maybe superficially will accept. But for me, the impression of, say, a particular place is only at that point what I'm seeing. That's all. Even our own hometowns, you go after 20, 30 years, it would have drastically changed. Bangalore, I've been there 30, I mean, of course, 25 years ago, whatever, 27 years ago. Now I go to the same place where I went, it's totally, I cannot even identify it. So things keep changing, that is why this misguided, in the name of religion, such diversion of the human energy results in a misguided civilization. The guidance, now, if I go there, and say this dams and all, and when I see that the people there have lowered their intensity of devotional service, suppose, I will, for me, that is the level of devotional service I will look at, isn't it? Yes or no? If I go to a place and people don't read Prabhupada's books at all, they just go around, do service, whatever, and they do some kirtan, they don't read Prabhupada's books, that will be the standard I am giving it to the next generation. Right? Prabhupada used to sit with the entire group of devotees, hundreds and thousands of devotees, and whole day he will be reading Krishna book on Janmashtami. One of the Prabhupada disciples, senior sannyasi Maharaj, he was telling me that it was all Shravanam Kirtanam they will do. Now, how many of us do this on Janmashtami day? Or say Gaura Purnima day? Whole day we are busy running around doing this, doing that. And I remember my Guru Maharaj was in 2004 in Abu Dhabi. Devotees, he was there, and I also visited there. He asked me to come over, and he was there. So devotees were busy in the other place. Maharaj was staying in one place, and another devotee's place, just walkable from there. And they were making balloons and ribbons and this thing, everything, all decorations they were doing, and nobody was there for Mangalarti and chanting and Bhagavatam. So Maharaj was not very happy. He said, let's just do with whoever we have here. So he said, today is appearance day of Krishna. Krishna appears in Bhagavad Gita. So the whole day we have to sit and chant Bhagavad Gita. That is our celebration of Janmashtami. So he made us all 7-8 hours it took for us, because one should chant, other should repeat. And we have to play Kartal along with it, each shloka. If you miss the Kartal beat, he will make us repeat again. If we mispronounce, he will make us repeat again. So it took 7-8 hours for us to complete one round of Bhagavad Gita. Each one of us will take one chapter and we'll read, and one will chant and others will repeat. And he sat with us throughout the entire thing, and we were fasting and we were chanting. And those who are doing the other thing, they have missed out on this opportunity. And when they somehow or other came to see Maharaj, then Maharaj fired them. You're supposed to be here. Why why you are not focusing on Krishna in the form of sound vibration? You can do these things later, but right now the most important thing is at least for some time you should do Shravanam and Kirtana. And this part is missing. So those from that age, they will say that, hey, this is the standard we were following. And now slowly, when the thing moves into how much enjoyment I can have kind of a thing, then this is considered as madness. Hey, you don't have service to do. You just simply sit and do Kirtan and this thing only, Shravanam only. Why don't you just get up and do? So I'm not comparing the two, but what I'm saying is we set a standard by which over time the interest or eagerness for appreciating and meditating on Prabhupada's words like this. I only read 4 or 5 lines. See how much time it took to absorb it a little bit into our system. Our system of the, I mean to say system means our thinking system. Isn't it? So this slowly in small, tiny ways, we are misguiding the civilization. And that is the havoc that it is creating. Slightest deviation creates a havoc. And now the next line, what essentially Vyasadeva is the authority in Vedic explanations in the Mahabharata, etc. And his encouragement in sense enjoyment in some form of the other. He's even if he is indicating that, okay, you enjoy now, but then you have to do this. People don't care for that prohibition or that traditional thing that they have to do, austerity they have to do. Right? It is a great barrier for spiritual advancement. Why? Because the moment you give that little bit of that thing and then say that you give this laddu and then you take the medicine, people will take the laddu, throw the medicine and go. That will be the great barrier for spiritual advancement. Because the people in general will not agree to renounce. They will not go to moksha. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. They will not want to go to that level. No, moksha means giving up, basically. So that they will not go. No material activities which hold, the people will not agree to renounce material activities which hold them in material bondage. Very, very important point this is. That Narada Muni and Kailash story, no? How he was holding on to, Narada Muni once went to, my Guru Maharaj used to narrate this in the most hilarious way. I've heard the story from him in 2-3 times, most hilarious. You just roll on the floor laughing the way he was explaining, maybe I should just share this in a shortened version. So once Narada Muni went to Krishna and said, Krishna, I want to do some service. What would you like me to do? Krishna said, you know better what I want. Please bring those suffering souls. At least bring somebody, little bit of inclination they have also, you bring them to me. Oh, Krishna, this is such a great service I could do. You just tell me where is a person, I will go and fetch him. I'll be more than happy to do this service. He said, okay, in that so and so place in India, or not India, I mean in the world, in the earth, Bhumi, one person is there, he is doing nice puja, etc. You go and tell him that Krishna wants you to come. You please join him and give him some association. So Narada Muni goes joyfully. He says, now easily, he's a devotee already, so I can easily fetch him, don't worry. So his name is Kailash. He's what do you call? He just married and he's very religious and all that. So he goes, Narada Muni goes and he receives him very, very lovingly and respectfully, treats him nicely. And Narada Muni says, what Narada Muni, what you have got for me? Narada Muni says, Krishna remembered you. Oh, Jai, Krishna is remembering me. I am so Bhagyavan. So he says, what is expecting me to do? What can I do for him? He said, he wants your association, so you come over to, he wants you in Golokunda. Oh, I should definitely come. This is such a great opulence, merciful thing that he has given. But no one else will get it. He himself is calling me. So he said, only one small thing. My child is just grown up. I just want to make sure he becomes teenage and stands on his own. Then I will be there. He says, okay, a few years only he goes. And after 10 years or so, he comes and this boy has started going to work. Then he tells his Kailash that why do so can we go now? Says no. No, Narada Muni, you see, he's just got his job. I have to marry him, all that. Then I will come. Then after some time again comes. You see, now your son is married. Why don't you come? You know, they have to. They are just. She's just conceived. The child has to come out. They have to take care of the child. He's working, so we have to help. So then, so after some time, the child is there, just grown, and he comes and he asks again. Now this time, he says, "Narada, you see, these people have gone out, and they just left the door, left me alone with the child. So I will have to take care of the child." Say, okay, let them. Then he slowly that grandchild there. Okay, after that I will come back. So just the next day, the Narada Muni is coming back, so that his family would have come back from their shopping or whatever. Then by the time Narada Muni comes, this child goes to open the door, and he is running down from Kailash, runs down from the stairs, and he slips and he falls off, he dies. And before Narada Muni comes, he dies. So he says, Narada Muni goes away. Then he tells to Krishna, he goes to Golokunda and tells Krishna, Krishna, I'm sorry that that person has passed away now. You tell me some other living entity. He says, no, that living entity has taken birth in near the same house as a dog. So you go and fetch that dog. So Narada Muni goes and the dog remembers, Guru Maharaj, you are there now. You see, now you change the body. Even now I give you a concession. In this same body, you can come with me. I can take you to Golokunda. But then he says, you see, Guru Maharaj, I want to come with you. But then you see, these people have left the door open and they have just gone. I have to, I'm the security. I have to safeguard this house. Till the evening, they come. I have to be here. And say, okay, one more day, what can I do? Narada Muni comes the next day. And then the dog barks at him and says, don't you have any other living entity other than me to take back? Why are you coming only to me? Forget about me. You will find many other living entities. You just take them to Golokunda. So this is how our material attachment is. We just, I was just studying this thing, we'll not agree to renounce material activities which hold them in material bondage. This is the thing. We just can't leave it. And speak so many things, but it's very difficult to give up that small thing that holds me up. Narada Muni says that if you have to leave, just leave now. Maharaj used to say that, you have to be satisfied in order to renounce. But for satisfaction, you cannot take ages to become satisfied. Be satisfied with what you have now. Only then you can renounce. Don't tell I will get this much and then I will renounce. No, that will never happen. So that's one point about this paragraph. Let's continue for this to at least complete this paragraph and then we can see. That's why I told you this. This is so deep, Vasudeva Prabhu, I'm sorry, you raised your hand for quite some time ago. Missed you, Prabhu.
Actually, Prabhu, when you are narrating about the temple of Radha Damodarji, we went today only.
Oh.
We went today only and we saw a drastic change.
What was that change, Prabhu?
Deities of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Panchatattva, they have installed.
Oh, that was there. That was there even when I was there in March.
So now, at that time, it might have not have finished, but now it is in perfect condition. Everything is finished over there.
Oh, they did the same thing like Mayapur, the Panchatattva which they have.
Yeah, yes. And in those who have not seen the previous things, for them it looks very beautiful, very neat and clean. But those who have observed the earlier things, they think that this modification, even it was not there, it was even better in the olden days, as you are telling. And we were lucky enough to have darshan of the chanting bead of Jiva Goswami and Charana Paduka. You were able to touch it today.
Jiva Goswami,
The Samadhi one, the Samadhi.
What they have done now is they have completely closed with a brown grill gate. So you cannot see, as earlier you used to see through the thing very easily. Now only it is open, you can see. Otherwise, that small hole you have to, because people come.
No, actually they have installed a gate with the grill. So through the grill you can have a look inside that.
Correct, but the thing is, if you want to sit there and chant,
yes. No, earlier thing when the tree was there, it was really natural. Now it looks something which they have.
They put some artificial trees. They have put
artificial tree in place of the natural tree, and it is there is no sky available over there. It is completely covered. So. But those who have not seen the earlier one, they will see. Okay.
No, my point was not to compare the old one and the new one. Of course, Prabhu, let things go in their own thing. At least they are preserving. That is more important. But my point is that if you see this, you will think that this is how it was always existing. That is a natural way we.
Correct. That's why I was. Even the room of Prabhupada, there is a quite good changes are there. You can peep into the Prabhupada's room from this corridor, the Parikrama mark, and they have installed a big window there.
Thank you, Prabhu. Nice. Looking forward to seeing this thing. At the end of the day, whatever modifications that may happen there, the spirit of Vrindavan is the same. There is no question in that part. It's actually, Vrindavan is in our heart. That's what Prabhupada would say.
Yes.
How pure our heart is, to that extent we can see. Yes, Prabhu. Suchandra Prabhuji, would you like to read further? At a certain stage of.
Prabhuji, you're on mute, Prabhu. Suchandra Prabhu, you're on mute.
Yes.
Okay. At a certain stage of human civilization, when such material activities in the name of religion, as sacrificing animals in the name of yajna, were too much rampant, Lord incarnated himself as Buddha and decried the authority of the Vedas in order to stop animal sacrifice in the name of religion.
So this is one point here. Just this meat eating is a best example for encouraging them in the way of religion, and prohibitions is discarded. When those days when they had to do the meat eating, we know how it is prescribed in our shastras. Like you have to, do it on a certain day only, then offer it to this, say this devta or whatever, and then eat the thing, and then you yourself should kill it, and all those kind of rules are there. Those are the prohibitions. So people who want to eat meat, they don't care for the prohibition. It doesn't matter. Someone else is killing. How does it matter to me? I'm only purchasing. Because you are purchasing, he is killing. So the thing which is supposed to happen by yourself, which you are supposed to do yourself, has now become an industry. So someone else is killing, someone else is selling it, someone else is eating it, and then they think that it is all no problem for me. But then that is the prohibitions. Will hardly care for prohibitions. That is why the Lord had to come again in the form of Buddha to at least stop this. Please continue.
Okay. This was foreseen by Narada, and therefore he condemned such literatures.
So this is one of the examples. One of the examples of the many things that were discarded, or the rules were discarded, and so Narada Muni knows that these kind of meat eating, killing of animals, and all these things will happen, and there is no way people will be liberated from the sins. So that is why he is foreseeing already. The Narada Muni knows it.
The flesh eaters still continue to perform animal sacrifice before some demigod or goddess in the name of religion, because in some of the Vedic literature, such regulated sacrifices are recommended. They are so recommended to discourage flesh eating, but gradually the purpose of such religious activities is forgotten and the slaughterhouse becomes prominent. This is because foolish materialistic men do not care to listen to others who are actually in a position to explain the Vedic rites.
This is the thing, because foolish materialistic men do not care to listen to others who are actually in a position to explain the Vedic rites. They are not really interested. They don't care why you are telling this, why you are telling that. So this is systematically that was given. Krishna and the saints like Narada Muni and all of them had systematically thought over, but then this is something that is missing out. Okay. Yeah, I mean,
we'll stop here.
We'll stop here, Prabhu, because it's 8:50 already.
As you rightly said, Prabhuji, this purport and the last one, very, very important, very important.
Very deep, no? Very, very practical
very
also.
Deep.
And so much it is connected with the flow of this world's ecosystem, isn't it, Prabhu?
True.
How it is kind of changing, the color is changing or the environment is changing. It's all you can see how slight deviation can create so much.
Prabhuji, can I just inject something?
Yes.
In the morning, I was sitting and somebody knocked the door. So there were two ladies, the Christian ladies. They were distributing this book called Awake.
Okay.
So, then I decided, let me talk to them about a few things. So, I was talking to them that she's telling me, well, which book do you read? I said, ours is Bhagavad Gita. So she said, I've never heard about Bhagavad Gita. So I said, as you have this, your religious book, we have Bhagavad Gita. So then I said that, do you actually follow your religious book? So she said, yes, Bible, we follow it to the dot. So I said, I asked her that, do you eat meat? So she says, yes. It's not written that you cannot eat meat. I said, it's written, thou shalt not kill. You know what she told me? Because I'm not killing.
Someone else is killing.
So I laughed. I said, oh my God. I said, yeah, because you see, so I asked her that, do you think you're getting implicated? Why? She's asking me why? I'm not getting implicated. So, then I said, madam, thank you very much. I don't want this Awake book. I'm okay with my Bhagavad Gita.
Even those are...
That was today in the morning. So I was shocked. I said, oh my God. He said, no, I'm not killing. I'm following the Bible to the dot. I said, okay.
The Prabhupada used to say that all the world wars are because of this meat eating thing, because you have stopped being merciful to other living entities. Then initially you started killing the animals. Now you started killing human beings, and so much so that even the child in the womb is killed. And all these things are starting from there. Vina Pashupna. So, Pashupna, yeah. Very important. Prabhupada is primarily focusing on this because that is one of the important qualities we need to be possessing, and mercy towards others. And without this mercy towards others, as we saw last week also, that Brahmana has Samadhi Shato, that shloka in 4:14:41, that Dinanam Anukampana. So the Dinanam Anupekshaka, Binna Pandat Payoyatha. Like whatever we may do, but unless and until we are merciful towards other suffering living entities, nothing, whatever we do will be of no use. Very sad thing, but then at least one good thing is that, we have got such a pure saint like Prabhupada, putting black and, it's called calling spade a spade, we say, right? Like putting things in black and white. And this is what has happened. This is what who are supposed to teach also are not teaching properly. They have lost their qualification, but they want to maintain their position. At the same time, those who are supposed to learn from them are also not learning properly. They are losing faith. They don't have interest in it. So naturally, it's bound to happen. The religion is bound to be destroyed, annihilated slowly.
Prabhupada wanted to enrich their culture with Vedic injunctions, and so Prabhupada is so merciful, and they were that crooked mind, that demonic mind, to destroy others' culture. So that is a difference between ours and their thing.
Yeah, even now, if you see, it's Prabhupada who is saving the whole world, from really. Because if he is not, brought up this Bhagavatam culture, it would have gone down even further, even more steep. The fall would be even more steep. So that's where we should be very careful in associating with the material, this outside world. We have this tendency to use everything in Krishna's service, that Yukta Vairagya thing. But in that process, we are succumbed to that, the side effects or the after effects of that, So eventually, we lose our intensity. We lose our purity in our process, in what we are doing. That is where our preaching is how should I say, our preaching is also not very effective. And when our preaching is not effective, it's creating one kind of effect in the outside world and another effect in ourselves. The effect it has on the outside world is that they lose they don't get so much attracted, so they lose the faith in this culture, and they go even farther and farther away because of our impure preaching. I mean to say, less intense preaching, I would say. And what it is creating it in us, the impact it is creating in us, is that slowly that Vindabandat Payoyatha, no, like that our own taste for devotional service goes down, our faith in this culture, all these things also go down. We start doubting this philosophy ourselves. Why it is not creating more devotees there? Because why it is not transforming others' heart? That question I will ask, and that will naturally I will start thinking that I mean, how should I say? I am doing it all right, but the process seems to be having some problem. Maybe something is wrong with the process. Let's say one devotee told very nicely many years ago, one of my devotee friends, he said that we have to preach. Preaching is our life in this moment, especially. You know why? Because when you preach, either of the two things will happen. One is the other person will take up chanting, and if the other person doesn't take up chanting, you will give up chanting. Because when we keep doing preaching and others don't take up the process, we start questioning the process, not questioning our intent or our purity. Right? So I will start thinking that, hey, something is wrong with this. Maybe the other people are better off. Maybe I am the one who is wasting time in this chanting 16 rounds and reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, preaching and all that. Others are saving so much time and they are becoming more and more rich and famous, whatever. Like that, I start thinking. So many devotees have come to me and asking this question. If only I had not spent so much time in this Krishna consciousness, I would have become a better person in my material life. I would have got so many promotions. I would have got this much increment or that position, this position. Your devotee asked these questions to my Guru Maharaj. Very openly, his friend asked this. Maharaj, many times I think if I had not taken to Krishna consciousness, I would have been a much better person materially. I would have had more wealth, got a good job in my dream company, in good position, etc., etc. So Maharaj said, yes, you definitely would have got. But you know what? According to karma, you would have lost them also. Whatever you have now is as per your karma. But if you're thinking that because of bhakti I have not gotten it, you might have got, maybe who knows, maybe you would have spent some extra hours in your thing and you would have got more accolades, accolades, whatever. But then, whatever money you might have earned, whatever name and fame you might have earned from there, that will also be lost in a moment. If your karma does not allow you to have something, Krishna consciousness is not the cause of not having. Your karma is the cause of your not having. So this is all there, subtly in our hearts, That's why our faith is being questioned every time, being tested. So these verses are very helpful because when Narada Muni is speaking, he is speaking from the transcendental plane. He has no tinge of material thing there. He's full of karuna. When he is talking to Vyasadeva, he is thinking about each one of us. After 5,000 years, these and all will happen, or whatever, 500 years, 1,500 years, these people. So for us, the bridge between Narada Muni and us is Srila Prabhupada. That we should always remember. This purport, if he had not written, how many of us will appreciate this verse? Right? It's true for every single verse. So we really feel blessed to have Prabhupada in our lives. And somehow or other, we should bring Prabhupada in others' life too. So we'll stop here with this 9 dots, so we can really stop there. Thank you so much for your wonderful realizations, Prabhu's messages. And Krishna willing, we'll connect again this Saturday. I wish you all a very, very happy Balram Purnima and Raksha Bandhan or whatever other festivals that is coming along with it. But Balram Purnima, we pray to the Supreme Lord for the spiritual strength. And he allows us to serve Krishna. Just 1 week more for Janmashtami, and we will really be blessed to have the association of all the wonderful devotees in the service. Thank you so much. Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai, Nitya Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Go, Vanchakal Bhagavan Kripa Sindhu Bhavacha Patitanam Pavane Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Thank you so much, Prabhu Mataji. Hare Krishna.